I know it's not my body and not my choice, but when thick men be wanting to go on health kicks and like lose mad weight and be 165, why? Why? Please stand up. Stand up, king. Reclaim your rights to eat rice. Because, like, no, seriously, why do you want to be under 200? Why you want to be under 200? Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm going to start this video off by saying I don't necessarily think this is fat logic, but nonetheless I despise this mentality. Let me tell you why. Every once in a while I'll see a post on social media of some woman with very large breasts getting a breast reduction to deal with the pain being caused by them, and without fail you'll find some man in the comments saying, "Oh, you should have kept them. I liked them before." To me, these types of comments aren't much different than what she's saying in this video. Other people don't exist to please you. If someone is fat and choosing to lose weight to improve their health, or just for aesthetic reasons, and your reaction is anything other than supportive, please keep it to yourself. In so many words, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
It's so interesting to me that the trolls in my comments go after me constantly. Go to the gym, lose weight, shut up, just lose weight. They never seem to comment on my tap dancing videos. Bitch, they could never.
Well, here's a thought. Maybe it's because in your tap dancing videos, you're not complaining about things you have the power to change. Just a thought.
Still mad, getting fat is as valid as getting muscles. Your toxic gym bro community thinks you are the only ones who can be proud of your bodies, but no, people like fat bodies too, and they are beautiful.
You know, fat activists are always talking about how there's no such thing as promoting obesity, and I just have to say, if that doesn't count as promoting obesity, what the fuck does?
I have a brilliant, beyond brilliant idea.
These people are either a hive mind or they're reading from the same script.
Anytime I talk about the problems with the BMI, the most common response I always get is, okay, well, what should we use instead? And the answer is nothing. Get rid of it and replace it with nothing. We literally don't need it. If a patient needs to be assessed for an illness, doctors use diagnostic testing to do that. If a patient has an illness, the doctor will treat that illness. If medications need to be dosed based on weight, there are formulas that already exist to calculate those dosages. If a doctor wants to educate a patient about the benefits of health-promoting behaviors, they can and should do that with all their patients. There is no medical scenario where the BMI or any tool like the BMI is the most effective, most specialized tool for the job. None. We already have systems and tools in place to meet whatever a patient's specific health needs may be. Categorizing and pathologizing patients based on weight is and has always been lazy medicine.
Ah, yes. Let's stop having that discussion. The height of science is leaving certain conversations off the table. There's no way that could have consequences. Ain't that right, Galileo? But let's talk about this. The BMI is nothing more than a useful rule of thumb, as it's decent at predicting fat mass. Obviously, there are exceptions like Dwayne Johnson, for example, but appealing to outliers to point out the BMI is bullshit is the unicorn fallacy. People like The Rock are the exceptions, not the rule. As mentioned previously, BMI is decent at predicting fat mass, and increased fat mass is associated with increased risk of a litany of diseases. The key word is risk. Reducing risk is key to a proactive approach to health. If your doctor is doing nothing more than reacting to problems as they arise, get a new doctor.
All right, heart rate is fine, blood pressure is fine, we did all the tests completely fine. You need to lose weight. Oh, okay. Well, what will that help with? Definitely with being skinnier.
So, this person's a comedian, and after watching that, I am now convinced of the comedic genius of Amy Schumer.
No, Garfield, the cable's out.
What's wrong with this thing?
Did you hear what I said? The cable's out.
Maybe it needs new batteries.
Garfield, listen to me carefully. The cable is out.
The cable's out?
There's a lot of factors that contribute to people being overweight, but none lead the charge like caloric intake does. Do you have a reduced metabolism? That could increase your chances of becoming obese, but not without calories. Do you have a condition such as Prader-Willi that makes satiation borderline impossible? That could increase your chances of becoming obese, but not without calories. Are your parents fat? That could increase your chances of becoming obese, but not without calories. Do you live in a first world country? You get the point. The biggest factor of all is caloric intake. Nothing else supersedes it. I used to be obese. I didn't disappear when I lost weight because I was not my obesity. No one is. You're not unacceptable, you're unhealthy. Significant difference. Well, you do get to live because no one wants to kill fat people.
This person says, WTF, that's fucking insane. How the fuck do people even eat meals with a stomach the size of a golf ball? That's fucked. Yeah, that's the thing, they don't. They don't actually eat full meals. It's why after these surgeries, you have to be on very, very strict diets and can barely eat anything because you risk rupturing your stomach because of the size of it. That's kind of the point. It's quite literally a starvation tactic for weight loss, which is like the most ridiculous way to tackle the problem at hand. Taking the stomach down from its 12 by 6 inches to the size of a golf ball is so horrific to me. And you'll find that a lot of people get sick after eating literally one M&M or what have you. It's pretty bad. It's definitely tantamount to torture in my opinion, and I hate that this is something that we do so regularly and so readily.
Weight loss is simple, but it's not easy. For someone like me, high volume, low calorie foods were the key to weight loss because I could eat in a calorie deficit and be satiated. But the appetite that it takes to get to 400, 500, and even 600 plus pounds isn't always going to be satiated as easily. So bariatric surgery is often the solution. There's various forms of bariatric surgery, and none of them make it so the individual can't eat. It eliminates the desire to consume large amounts of food. They're not starving themselves. They're full. The lifestyle changes that one has to commit to after the surgery are often not fun. So why do it? The answer is simple. It's better than the alternative. Dumaras and others 2021 took a sample of 2,600 obese patients, half of which consisted of everyone who underwent bariatric surgery in Ontario from January 2010 to December 2016. And the other half didn't go through the surgery at all. After follow-ups, it was determined that the group that underwent bariatric surgery experienced lower risk of heart failure by 56%, lowered their risk of ischemic heart disease by 40%, lowered their risk of heart failure hospitalization by 63%, and cardiovascular mortality in general was reduced by 65%, and all-cause mortality was reduced by 50%. In previous videos, I discussed how, due to the fact that adipose tissue is hormonally active, obesity can often lead to cancer. Thus, we should find that, due to the successful nature of weight loss surgery, a drop in the rates of cancers should be expected. This study by Schauer and colleagues, published in 2019, gathered data from over 22,000 individuals who had undergone bariatric surgery from 2005 to 2012, and over 66,000 obese individuals to match them who had not undergone the surgery. Researchers compared the instances of cancers between the groups and found that overall the risk was 33% lower in the bariatric group. The risk was even lower when looking specifically at cancers associated with obesity. Those who underwent the surgery had a 42% decrease in instances of postmenopausal breast cancer, a 41% decrease in colon cancer, a 50% decrease in endometrial cancer, and a 41% decrease overall in obesity-related cancers. In conclusion, The benefits largely outweigh the risk.
It's so funny to me when people claim feminism or that I'm anti-feminist for critiquing people who engage publicly and celebrate intentional weight loss. Like diet culture doesn't disproportionately harm women.
Did you know that obesity is a risk factor for breast cancer, which also disproportionately harms women? Just a thought.
You're overweight, obese, morbidly obese, underweight, anorexic, you're unhealthy.
I like how these straight cis white guys will just have an instant doctrine and know better than even your medical professional themselves. Like, it just happens like that. Dude, I don't even think you believe you with that shit. I don't know what you're doing trying to fool anybody else.
Let's see what he said that was just so incorrect.
Like I said prior, if you're overweight, obese, morbidly obese, underweight, anorexic, you're unhealthy. As far as your PCOS diagnosis, that is a small contributor to weight gain. The major contributor to weight gain is your calorie intake versus your calorie expenditure. If you'd like to discuss health, fitness, nutrition, by all means, contact me on Instagram, Professor_Mike 1776.
He wasn't very nice, but he's not incorrect. The symptoms that come with dealing with PCOS can contribute to weight gain. The pain from cysts not only can lead a person to eat to deal with the pain, but the pain itself could cause the person to engage in a more sedentary lifestyle. PCOS can also lead to increased appetite, but what it won't do is make you immune to the laws of physics. This study, published by Nico Kavora and colleagues, took 508 women with PCOS and 508 women without PCOS, matched for age, height, weight, and BMI, and put them on a diet consisting of 600 calories for 12 weeks. After 12 weeks being monitored on this diet, the average weight loss for each group was roughly the same. People with PCOS are not immune to the laws of physics. I shouldn't have even had to cite scientific literature.
If you think you have to lose weight to do anything in life, watch this. If we don't know each other, my name is Alex Joy. I'm a certified intuitive eating coach, and I help women heal their relationship with food and their body and movement. And this is what I tell my clients all the time, so I figured I would share it with you too. Ask yourself this one question. Are you ready for it? What is true? Not how do you feel? What is actually true? Do you know people who live in larger bodies that have a loving relationship? Do you know people in larger bodies that are healthy, that have awesome friends, family members, an awesome support system, that have a kick-ass job, that make lots of money, that are ultimately happy? If this is true for others, it must be possible for you too. And sometimes we just need to get our logic mind around the idea that it's possible. Let me know how that resonates in the comments and keep following along for more.
That's all great, it's all great. Obese people can have loving relationships, they can be healthy for the moment, they can have awesome friends, family members, that awesome support system, they can have a kick-ass job and make lots of money, and they can be ultimately happy. You know who else can do that? Smokers. Just like smokers, obese people can be rich, healthy at the moment, and have a great social life. That doesn't negate the fact that it's a risk factor for various diseases. With that said, I want to thank you all. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to try to get my upload schedule to be a bit more consistent, but other than that, I'll catch y'all later.